Hello, my name is Rebecca Tu, and this is my presentation on using AI tools for accessibility. First, I will go over some tools for accessibility and how they can be used for instructors and students. Here are some examples of AI tools that can be used: Stark, Accessibility, Air Caption, UserWay, and Murf. These are just a few of dozens of options that are available for people to use to help create accessible content. Accessibility Desk has an AI toolkit where there are several options listed for instructors and course designers. They have an accessibility text checker that uses AI to make sure that text is readable for students who use screen readers. There's also a WCAG code validator, which makes sure that web content is up to the WCAG guidelines. There's also Read Easy for Chrome, which can read content to students who need it, and Read Easy for Microsoft Word and Outlook, which is for people who create things to make sure that their content is accessible for all people. So some of the things that these AI tools can help with are image descriptions, providing translations, creating text-to-speech, captioning, and reading comprehension for students and people with disabilities. And again, these are just some of the many ways that AI tools can help students. So, positive implications of AI for accessibility. First off, AI can really help an instructor. First, it can save time. Instructors can cut down on planning and designing time by using AI tools to make sure they are accessible for students. Another is that AI tools can give feedback to instructors to make sure that their content is accessible before they push it out to students. And thirdly, AI can help update materials. That means instructors can take existing content that they already have and use AI to make it accessible for students, which again can help them save time. AI can also help student access in their learning. It can make sure that students can access the same content as their peers. So instead of instructors providing separate material for them, AI tools can make sure that disabled students can access it in the same way as their peers. This can help students have a sense of belonging because of the improved accessibility, which means that they feel like they are part of the learning community and that they are able to access things in the same way as their peers. And this can help students feel more comfortable trying new things because they have help from AI tools. So a student might feel more comfortable taking a class that they might not normally, or try something new that they haven't before. There are a lot of growing possibilities of using AI to help with accessibility. So it's growing exponentially in popularity and in the use, which means that there are a lot of possibilities for what it can become in the future. And this can be positive or negative. More AI use can mean more opportunities to help disabled students, but it can also lead them to being harmed because they're a part of a marginalized group. So here are some possible challenges with AI in accessibility. The first is bias. So AI is trained using bias systems, which means that it often discriminates against marginalized groups of people. The very tools that are meant to support disabled people may actually be causing them harm. So a few examples of this are that some sites and tools can use data from disabled people without them knowing, and it can infer that they are disabled based off of their use of the app and discriminate against them. And also they can assume that because someone has a disability, they have certain needs, even though it might not be true. So these harmful assumptions can be hard for disabled people because it doesn't actually support them in the way that they need it. So this begs the question if some of these tools are actually inclusive. So a lot of these tools are designed to support accessibility, but they end up actually being more discriminatory than helpful. So one example is speech recognition software doesn't always work for people that have speech disabilities, such as the deaf accent. So it's a really great tool, but it's not helpful if the software doesn't pick up everyone's voice and speech patterns. Another example are visual to language models created from databases of images, and they're meant for blind people, but they're using images created by sighted people. So they're using images from people who don't have visual problems, which means that the images are not actually going to be helpful for the people who need them the most. So what can be done is AI designers should be consulting with disabled people, or even better, hiring disabled people to help create accessible AI tools. And for instructors, they should be educating themselves on the different tools that can be used and how to use them, but also being sure to check them for biases and communicating with students to see what works and doesn't work for them. So in all things for accessibility, it's only useful if it's actually helping people that need it. So if these tools are being used and they're not actually supporting students with disabilities, then instructors should be making sure that they are communicating with them and checking to see how they can be helping them more with accessibility. So in conclusion, AI tools can be helpful for instructors aiming to create accessible content for their disabled students. However, it's important that instructors and course designers use caution when using AI tools to make sure that they are truly helping students. So AI has a lot of potential, but it's just making sure that everyone who is using it is being cautious with it so that it's being used appropriately and is actually helping. Here are some of the references that I used to create this presentation. Thank you for watching.